All right, and wrapping up this week's dose, our third company, we have Sunnyside, an app that promotes healthy drinking habits, which just secured an $11.5 million Series A round led by Motley Fool Ventures, joined by Will Ventures, Uncork Capital, Offline Ventures, and many others. These funds will help Sunnyside roll out its new AI drinking coach named Sunny, hey Sunny, which generates recommended responses for Sunnyside's team of human coaches. And we'll get a little into the trenches on that in a second.
Yeah, but first a little bit more on the target market. So 2/3 of the U.S. adult population drink alcohol. And of this population, 48% has expressed wanting to cut back on that alcohol consumption.
Makes sense.
Yeah, not surprised there. With a positive and proactive approach to building healthier drinking habits, Sunnyside aims to activate a much larger population of regular alcohol consumers, helping anyone who drinks to avoid the negative consequences of unmanaged alcohol overuse.
Mm-hmm.
So not necessarily eliminating alcohol use, but cutting it back, and anything in moderation is healthy, right?
Right.
To an extent. With only a small fraction of drinkers able to access help to change their drinking habits, more options are definitely needed to mitigate, and this is whopping. We throw that term around sometimes. The $249 billion annual burden of alcohol overuse on our economy and health system.
That is shocking, whopping,
Yeah.
a crazy $249 billion annually. But I mean, I think it makes sense, especially the health system, right? Thinking about all the complications that can come with abusing alcohol and hospital bills and healthcare, things like that. So it makes sense, and evidently it's a large enough market for Sunnyside to want to jump in, and their investors agree. So a little bit more on the product. It's a subscription service. And so for $99 a year, Sunnyside's app features daily drink tracking, SMS reminders to keep you honest and accountable and stay on track with your goals. They also have a personalized one-on-one coaching program, as well as a community chat section where users can share their struggles or their wins with other members. You know, overlaps with the community building we just talked about with our previous company, but nice to have a specific community dedicated to that. Additionally, there's also an analytics dashboard which calculates how much money and how many calories you saved so far by cutting back on drinking. And I imagine that's where people like what they see after a couple weeks on Sunnyside.
Yeah, to be able to put some stats behind it, like, you know, the old saying, you can't improve what you don't measure.
Right.
And those stats matter to a lot of people. Calories and money.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. You can also participate in challenges to help you stay accountable. That's the other thing. Accountability with goals is key, such as 30-day alcohol reset or competing with friends to see who can drink 50% less than usual.
Yeah.
There's also a $298 a year premium subscription package, which comes with weekly Zoom check-ins with coaches and more personalized and faster response time from the coaches.
Yeah, no, it reminds me of like fitness competitions you can do on Apple Watch or Fitbit or something like that, or you know, you and your friends are keeping track and keeping each other accountable. It's good, healthy competition.
Absolutely.
In its truest sense. And so we wanted to touch on the AI integration because that's kind of the new feature they're rolling out with this influx of capital. So Sunny, their new AI mindful drinking coach, aims to support the human coaches by answering simple questions from members. And so rather than responding to members directly, the AI coach generates recommendations that a human coach reviews before sending it as an SMS to the user. And the goal here being not to have AI replace the human component of the app entirely, but rather to make humans more effective and free up their time to do more deeper individualized coaching. Pretty similar to a company we covered a couple weeks ago called Elios Health, which again uses AI to help with the back office administrative stuff so that the health professionals can really dedicate their time doing the most value add services.
Yeah, and clearly we talk about AI every single episode at this point, and we try to pick the ones that are using it in like a useful way and not just adding it on for no reason.
Right.
I think that was something that Alicia Silberg mentioned. It makes me think back to our interview with Tyler Amundsen as well. I believe that was E69, 69. Yep. And this just makes sense, right? They're not just throwing AI on to have it in their investor update and as a buzzword, but to make the business more efficient and to ultimately be able to help more people. So that's a great use. Sunny, I mean, a great name. I've heard of plenty of names of AI assistants. Ours at Interplay is named Sam. You probably Probably can't get better than that, but Sunny's pretty good. Anyway, Sunnyside actually recruits coaches who are longtime members and consistently successful with the program in the past. There are around 20 coaches who have all gone through an independently developed coaching certification program in partnership with a licensed counselor. So you can trust these people who are helping you out. They've been through it,
right,
and they've been certified.
Yeah, and I'm glad you noted that as well, because I like that they're recruiting coaches who are members of the app, because if anyone's going to empathize with you and the difficulties you may be having cutting back on alcohol consumption, it's them, right? So it's kind of nice to have a coach who's been in your shoes before. It's not just some totally sober for 30 years guy.
Yeah.
And actually on that note, and you touched on it earlier, but Sunnyside's kind of specifying their positioning here. They're promoting healthy drinking habits. They're not trying to make every user sober at all, in fact. Instead, they're trying to catalyze this movement of mindful drinking as a part of the overall wellness conversation, right? Diet and exercise as well. And really, the app just wants to help people change their relationship with alcohol, which I think is an important mission.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me think about like another company called Noom, or like, as you mentioned, fitness apps. Like have been so many solutions for fitness and diet. Why hasn't there been one for alcohol consumption, which is arguably like, I mean, we saw the $250 billion number, a huge issue. So I think it's an opportunity ripe for disruption and a problem ripe for a solution.
Agreed. And before we get into the impressive metrics for this company, I just wanted to talk. I think, the $99 per year up to $300 per year if you get the premium subscription, obviously that's expensive. But and we said this before with other like fitness subscription startups, but if you think about the money saved on alcohol, first of all, plus the health benefits that come along with it, I mean, I think it's pretty easy to justify.
No investment is too much for your health and your long-term health. Right. And so the numbers do speak for themselves. Since launching in 2020, Sunnyside has helped over 200,000 people cut out 13.5 million drinks.
Wow.
This is especially impressive considering alcohol consumption has risen with the pandemic and in recent years.
Yeah, totally. Big alcohol must be quaking in their boots.
That's what I was thinking.
At the rise of Sunny. Those are awesome numbers. And furthermore, 97% of members report drinking less thanks to Sunnyside. That's incredibly significant. Yeah. With 21% reporting a reduction in consumption of 75% of alcohol, and another 35% reporting a 50% reduction. So about 50% of people are reporting an at least 50% reduction, with almost half of that saying 75. That is the proof is in the pudding right there. That's awesome. And this one's awesome too. So members have reduced their drinking by 32% on average, cut out 1,500 calories, and saved over $50 in their first month alone of signing up. I mean, instant impact, money, calories, alcohol drop off, or alcohol consumption dropping off. I mean, it checks all the boxes, and that's a triple play of awesomeness right there.
Yeah, within the first month. I mean, if you're saving $50, I wonder how much they're using that in their advertising and in their copy, like an actual return on investment. They're going to help you, like,
pays for itself in 2 months, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going out drinking, like, if you cut out one night in the first month, right, or 2 nights, like you've maybe paid for it. I think you and I both could resonate. Not that we're super heavy drinkers, but I think everybody could get behind cutting out a little bit of it, especially heading into the new year. So I'm sure they're going to see an uptick here as New Year's resolutions go. And
I think it's a great time to cover this company, because right now we're kind of in this full swing of holiday season, which is awesome. But let's be honest, you're definitely eating a little too much. You might be drinking a little too much as well. I know, speaking personally, I usually find myself feeling a little gross by the end of the year, but that's what, prompts you to make these strong New Year's resolutions, and plenty of them. I know we were just talking about this before the show, but many of those include cutting back on alcohol and general good health habits. So this is like a perfect time to start looking into a company like this, I think.
Yeah. It's sunnier on the other side of the new year. That's right.
Exactly. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.